Welcome to the event. We're really happy that you're here. We're about to go live in just a few moments. But before we lift off, there's a few important things we want to make sure that you're aware of so you get the best possible experience out of this. First of all, the sound current is supremely important to us, the musical experience. So if possible, we really encourage you to use good speakers or headphones to experience the class with. Second, if you have any pre-existing injuries, please take care of yourself, modify as you need to. Don't risk exacerbating an injury because of a yoga exercise. If you have any pre-existing medical conditions and you're not quite sure if this would be good for you, please consult with your primary healthcare practitioner and make sure it's the right thing for you. Also, make yourself relatively comfortable. You can use a cushion, and in fact, we encourage you in our seated positions, meditation practices, to use a cushion. It helps lift the heart up, keep the spine straight, and it's more ideal for the flow of energy in the body and for the meditation experience. You can even be sitting in a chair with feet flat on the floor for those of you that are unable to sit in a meditative sitting posture on the floor. Just use a chair, and for many of the exercises, that will work perfectly fine. And then lastly, if you're having any problems with the video streaming, try refreshing the page, or if you see a gear icon on the video, adjust your resolution. If you're new to this type of thing, just take care of yourself. If there's something that you don't quite understand, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Everything that needs to click will click after a few times of trying it out. Enjoy the experience. We're about to get started in just a moment. Okay. Welcome. Happy full moon. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks to the whole LFA team for making this happen. It takes a lot of energy from a lot of people to do these, and they're always fun. So I'm really happy to be here, and I'm really grateful for all the people who have helped get us to this moment, and to all of you for being here to help make this moment special and feel important. It's nice to come together in a type of ritualistic fashion, meaning that when, for instance, a full moon comes, a new moon comes, an equinox comes, a solstice comes, that we carve out some time for ourselves in our lives to actually not only pay attention to that fact of nature and to feel into what it is. A full moon is like high energy, isn't it? Can you feel it this week? Kind of building up into it for most of us. Definitely that was the case for me. It's been the case for most of the people I've talked to. And always is the case, but sometimes even more than others, depending where in the zodiac is the moon, of course. And today the moon is in the lunar mansion. The lunar mansion, or nakshatras, are like the lunar zodiac. It's a more ancient more feminine zodiac. It's older than the 12-sign zodiac that is solar-based, so more masculine in that sense. And in Vedic astrology, though, we use both. But the lunar mansion, the full moon is in, is called Purva Bhadra. And it's a section of Aquarius. It's a really deep energy. It's symbolized by like the front end of the lucky front end of a funeral cot. Interesting, huh?
It's mythological language, symbols, but these are mythologies that come alive in our life. All of us are living the mythology of our own life. We're living the journey of our own life. And as we go through life, often it just seems like, things tend to be more mundane feeling, or the circumstances and experiences and the situations that are happening to us, or that we are helping to perhaps even co-create, don't always feel like they're connected. But then when you look back on your life, and if I think you travel a little bit of distance, and you can see how everything does actually kind of tie together, and that there is some sort of intelligence about things. We all experience that when we experience, for instance, a moment of synchronicity. When you have a moment of synchronicity, or even déjà vu. Something interesting going on, isn't it? Synchronicity I love. I always feel like when a moment of synchronicity comes, it's like the universe just perfect. Keep going. Keep going. It's good feedback from life that we're doing our best as human beings, you and I, to live in a way that we feel will hopefully make us happy, that will help us feel fulfillment and contentment and a sense of purpose. Each one of us shares that in common. We all want that. To live without a sense of purpose is to not really feel the strength of our happiness, the strength of our love, the strength of our compassion. And so what the beautiful thing about this type of experience that we're doing here today for the full moon is that it helps us to recalibrate and strengthen all of that. And when the moon has come into its crescendo, especially in a type of part of the sky like this is the full moon in India, where the time to start to honor your ancestors begins, which is considered very, very important, really, across the world. If you consult with all the indigenous cultures, all of them find that to be of great importance. So maybe it must be there's something there, isn't it? And so when we come together for this today, in this type of deep energy of like Purva Bhadra, the lucky front end of the funeral cot, the Shakti of to ignite the fire of kind of like spiritual purification, but also the desire. Each of these nakshatras, they have a power, a Shakti, and a desire. The desire to possess the knowledge of and the splendor, to possess the splendor of spiritual knowledge and spiritual radiance. Well, what is that? Spiritual knowledge, spiritual radiance. It sounds fantastic, but what actually is it? These are things that have to be experienced. I find that much of the best things to me in life are the things that require experience to communicate. Certain things are just, words always do them, words always shortchange certain types of experiences that are of more of a transcendent nature. It's not just transcendent nature in terms of, say, like meditation experience. Any of you out there who are parents, for instance, and you've experienced your child being born, this is a transcendent experience. There's no words that will ever do that justice. And there's lots of experiences in our life like that, the big ones. But also the experience of what we are, who we are, our inner being, our real nature. All of us are dealing with this problem of, can I experience my real nature? What even is my real nature? We may not all be thinking of it in those terms, but all of us are grappling with it at some level. Who are we? What is this? And how can I be happy? And so this is what I call your hidden brilliance, because the true nature, or what Guru Nanak said, the true name, Nam, the true name, is beyond any words, is beyond any thought I can think of. It's beyond any concept or idea. It has to come from something that is of a feeling space, of an experiencing space. So this is the feminine and the masculine. To understand knowledge, masculine, but to feel, to experience deeply feminine. And so when we're going into these exercises today, we work with all of that energy. We want to use our to the best that we can, some like attention to detail in how we're doing the exercises and the postures and the breath and the meditation. But if you're brand new to this, your attention to detail will be different than somebody who's been doing it a long time. So it'll meet you just where you're at. And the details of the postures and all of this are not the most important thing at all. The most important thing to me is to just go on a journey and to take this time, this type of ritual together, where we actually bring our presence to it. If you have the wherewithal to put your devices on Do Not Disturb, I think that would be awesome. I think you'll have more fun that way. Because these things are always grabbing at your prana. Mine too. And so thank goodness for that Do Not Disturb function. Lord have mercy. It's only so much of my life force that I want to give in the outgoing way to this, and it requires already for my life more than I wish to give it. But this is where I find myself, and we all find ourselves in different life situations where we have different responsibilities. Part of Dharma is not just this grandiose sense of purpose. Now I'm living my best life, living my mission, blah, 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 blah. What about doing the duty too? What about the responsibility that I have to my family? What about the responsibility I have to the different work or areas of my life, or anywhere there's some type of debt? For instance, I always think of there's at some point somebody else had to keep us alive when we were little itty bitty babies. You can't keep I have some good friends right now, been around their itty bitty newborns, babies. They take all your attention. All your attention. Somebody did that for us. In most cases, it was our parents. In some other cases, it was somebody else. So that's what I mean by debt. There's a natural debt there. We all have responsibility in life. This is a world, a universe of magnetism. And so what comes around goes around. What we do to each other, we do to ourselves. And then when we start to tune into that reality, then I become much more interested in taking care of things in that type of responsible way. To the best of my ability, I always fail. But you fail again, fail better. Fail again, fail better. And then I always also succeed, because just the attempt is success. Just the ability, just the desire to try to tune in to what is real, what my real nature is. Just the desire to try to be more friendly to you, to try to help others more. Not because I think that's a moralistic thing to do. I think it becomes moralistic because it's what actually causes harmony in life. It's what causes harmony in myself, in my own being. What I'm giving to others, I'm giving also to myself. And then it causes harmony together, collectively, as our societies. And if this human race is going to survive, I think this has to be the case. It has to happen and by the way, it is happening. This is no gloomy thing. Absolutely. Compassion is growing across the world right now. Sensitivity is growing across the world right now. But if you're only paying attention to what's coming through the world of notifications and news media and etc., it's easy to get hypnotized otherwise. Now, it's not that just compassion is growing around the world. There's also very difficult things. There's that mythological battle between light and dark is always happening. But what part of the mythology are we aligning ourselves with? This is the wonderful work of like the hero's journey, Joseph Campbell, but all all the mythological stories around the world that really give us this wisdom and teach us how to live our lives in harmony with nature herself. We're right now, where we are, covered in wildfire smoke. It's so much smoke outside right now in Northern California, where we are in the Sierra foothills, Nevada County, that you open the door, you crack the door open just a little, the whole room smells like a campfire. Because there's a fire burning from other day. Most all summer, little fires will have broken out, but it gets to 100 acres, gets to 200 acres, they grab it. So far, that's been the case. And then this past week, just about 30 miles from here, there was one, you're watching, it goes, this is just the reality if you live in California and similar ecosystems in other areas of the world, that this is the awareness that one has to have if we're going to be safe and also figure out how to perhaps, get into more harmony with things slowly over time, because it took a long time to get us to this point. It took a long time of not paying attention, of not listening to the cultures that came before us to get us into this mess. There's always going to be some mess. It's planet Earth. It's always the mythology of dark and light is always happening. So then the other day, this one was like, oh, it's at 8,000 acres. Oh, it's at 9,000 acres. Oh, no. And then poof, it's at 25,000 acres. Fire element. She is powerful. That Mother Nature is so powerful, so humbling. And, it doesn't matter how smart we are. We think smart we are. We are smart. We can come up with definitely ingenuity. And we can find new ways, not going back into some previous time that's impossible to get to. But today in our life, trusting our own inner innovations, our own ability to get in harmony with our own life. But part of that is how do we participate in the collective life that we're all a part of? And how do we serve? How do we help folks? How do we help the plant beings? How do we help the animal beings? How do we help the human beings? How do we help just life herself through good art and music and so forth? Each of us has a unique path. Each of us are wired uniquely. And so the process of harmonization is the process of trusting that, trusting ourself, trusting our own inner intelligence. That means we have to therefore get in touch with our own inner intelligence. This is what I call your hidden brilliance. And it's vast, and it's endless in its layers. This is the great, mysterious, wonderful exploration of human life. And we're only here for a minute. Don't miss the fun part of the inner exploration. And even the hard times and the difficult times and the catastrophes in life are in aid to that exploration. Because when things are really difficult, you explore things in a different way than when things are very pleasurable. But in either case, it's an exploration of what life is, of who we are, of what does it mean to be alive? What am I? Who am I? What is this? What continues on after this ends? So this discovery of the hidden brilliance, and this is why, for me, the astrological context becomes so helpful in understanding what is our nature. Because we all have a unique nature. Some of us have really strong Mars energy, and some of us not. Some of us it's more softer Mars energy. What is Mars but my style of ambitious energy? What is Mars other than my willpower, my digestive fire, my blood, and all sorts of other things? But this is what we mean with living mythology. What is Venus but how I want to receive love and how I want to give love, and tuning into your unique way of love language, learning your own dialect so that you can effectively learn others' dialect. Not just staying in our old habits, not just staying on the default settings, but continuing to refine, because that's the spirit of enjoyment. Refinement is enjoyment. There is hard work associated with refinement, but the essence of refinement is enjoyment, the ability to enjoy life more thoroughly, and many, many more layers of subtlety. Isn't it? Isn't it like that? The more sensitivity we have in it with a strong container. Sensitivity without a strong container, we get like totally overwhelmed. This is where Saturn comes in. Saturn is the great work of our life. Saturn is our ability to follow through on things. Saturn is our sense of commitment, of work ethic. So some people have really strong Saturn, and they're good to learn work ethic from. But also someone with a really strong Saturn and really good work ethic could easily become convinced that because they have good work ethic, that they have superiority over those who don't have good work ethic. But that was just his or her Saturn placement versus their Saturn placement, different karmas. Whereas that other person, they're going to have strength in some other area where I'm going to be weak. So when we understand our nature like this, then it helps us, one, understand our tendencies, understand other people's tendencies, and it need not know astrology for this. It's just the awareness of the very existence of the concepts. That every psyche is a little bit different. We're all wired a little bit differently. The astrology is fantastic because it shows a map of your inner architecture. And so it helps us not take ourselves too seriously. Because we also know even our great strengths in terms of our talents, or what we're able to do really well, that we won't become egotistical about that if we're aware more of how the inner architecture works. Because we know that the something I'm strong in, it has both a positive and a negative. Strength of planets or strengths of certain qualities of a person's psyche and body and way of being. Strong Mars can be really positive in the sense of a really good get up and go, able to make things happen, able to move, able to get things done, maybe a good sense of like athletic ability, good kind of general. You can be maybe a strong leader, but it also can be totally destructive anger. It can also be not only that fire, not a fire to like do an inner purification, but ends up like burning others. So it can go either way. A strong sun can give you a great sense of self-confidence, but it also can make a narcissist. So the beauty of what we're doing here is you're working with it from a yogic context, really not predominantly, it's not an astrological context. In this case, it's using the astrology to guide the yoga process. And the yoga process is the process of revealing your own true nature to yourself. More and more, little by little, no rush at all. Just like a flower, like a rose that's blossoming. But this is the mystic rose of the heart that it forever blossoms and blooms. It's like a flower that never, there's not some point that we're trying to get to. You see, that's the importance of that idea of the forever blossoming rose. There's not a point that then boom, we got there, and we're not there right now. But rather we're in the blossoming experience. And that way we can really enjoy it. And we're not trying to get to some final destination, but we're able to appreciate where we are right now. And so by then working with the prana, life force, the chi, by working with our bodies, our breath, our mind, our mental projections, that's the use of mantra. Making sense? By using all of those things, then we can get that sensitivity experience of our inner nature, of our inner brilliance, but we can also simultaneously give it strong containment. And that's why we start with building and strengthening the nervous system, working with the navel point. So we're going to do some exercises. We're going to put ourselves in rhythm. And anyone who you're newer to this, or we all have different body types, different ages. So just take care of yourself. Modify anything that you need to modify. If you're not able to sit on the ground, then you can do a lot of these. I would say the vast majority of what we're going to be doing, you can do in a chair, feet flat on the floor. If you're new and some of this isn't quite making all the sense, don't worry. Just enjoy the experience. And if you do need to modify anything, what I would really encourage you to try not to do is to disengage from the experience. As I can't do this exercise, let me check my phone or whatever. Put your attention onto your breath is what I would suggest. And throughout this, we're going to go on a journey together. So what I would like to do is to stay fully present with this journey and then come out on the other side of it and feeling great. Do you understand what I mean? But of course, take care of yourself. Never risk exacerbating any injury for a yoga exercise. The most important part isn't how much of the exercise or how well of the exercise, the meditation. The most important part is the presence that we're going to bring to it. Not bring to it because I need to focus on a yoga class and that's what will be good. But no, the presence because we deserve it. We deserve to give full presence to ourselves, to our energy, to our body, and to cause ourselves to shine. To use the energy of this time and this full moon. This is really the first of a 3-part series that we're doing. First on the full moon, second on the equinox on September the 22nd, and then third in the hidden brilliance in early October, that journey. And so today we're on the full moon. And in this full moon energy is to take a moment, close your eyes, and sit tall if you can. Your heart lifted up, your shoulder blades release. Soften the eyelids as your eyes are closed. And see if you can, while keeping your heart lifted, which is the same thing as saying that lift your spine. And the chin ever so slightly and shoulder blades release. Just finding a space where you're both elevated and relaxed. You have the masculine energy of good lifted posture, but you have the nice feminine energy, the softness of the heart, relaxed of the mind, intuitive of the being. Let the breath flow quite naturally, but just for a few moments begin to follow your breath with your mind, not necessarily making it deeper and longer unless you feel like you want to, but for the moment keep it very subtle. And just follow the current of your breath with your mind. And see if you can sense how your breath does indeed act as a carrier for a more subtle energy of chi, prana, life force. And in your mind, in your heart, if you would reflect on something that just currently, in your very recent life, in the last couple weeks or today even that you can feel grateful for. It can be anything, even very minute. But even if it could be just even one thing that sticks out the most about right now in your life, something you're grateful for. We know there's all sorts of things we're not grateful for. We're not paying attention to those right now. We're just isolating something that we're feeling grateful for. And then see if you can kind of amplify that feeling a little bit. You could even think of the moon in its full strength, that lunar energy that rules the tides and our waters of our body. And you can take that lunar energy. Sometimes full moons are intense and hard, so you can take and whenever there's agitated energy, what you can do is then you can use that energy. You can work with that type of inner alchemy. You can isolate a feeling of gratitude, and then you can expand that feeling of gratitude. And if you're not able to feel into the gratitude because the agitation is too strong, then you can switch modes and you can feel into the agitation instead. And feel how difficult it is. Not analyzing it, feeling it. And by feeling your own suffering, see if you can also feel a sense of compassion for your own body and your own mind and predicament. After all, you are trying very hard. We all are. It's not easy being in a human body, living on earth. It takes everything. And that's hard. So we can feel compassion. And when I'm feeling compassion for myself, then I can very naturally feel it for you. And now I feel grateful for that. Now I have a feeling of gratitude. And then I can go into it. Intuition needs to go into it. And let it swell. Like the rising tide. Love. And inhale deeply. And we'll tune in and bring your hands into this prayer pose. Inhale deeply. Exhale. And finally, just as you hold this space for a moment more, connect to an intention that you would like to set for this experience and for this full moon. Something simple, something that feels very natural. something that feels really important to you in your life. Yeah? And then just let it go. Okay, come on to the hands and knees. We're going to start, my friends. And your fingers will be stretched wide. And the hands are underneath the shoulders. And you're going to begin by inhaling, the head is coming up. Exhaling, the head is coming down. Nice smooth rhythm. Go your own pace, however it feels nice to you. And now for the last, 60 seconds or so, you're making a nice rhythm. It's not so much stretching the muscles around the spine, but making the spine nice and supple as you create a nice breath rhythm. Letting the mind just get into the breath. And as all the thoughts come, just let them come, but also let them go. Enough of all of them right now. Oh, my mind, we're enjoying our breath. We're enjoying the practice of tuning our instrument. And oh, my mind, at times, you're the main perpetrator of taking my instrument out of tune. And so, we're putting the mind onto the breath, or putting the mind onto the mantra, so the mind then once again becomes servant of the great hidden path, Dharma, the path of mystery and wonder, the path of duty and prosperity. Inhale, head is up. And exhale, head is down. Push the breath all the way out. All the way out. Press the breath out through your nose and then draw in the navel underneath your belly button and lift through your pelvic floor, Mula Bandha. And then inhale. Relax for a moment, the forehead down to the floor, the butt back to the heels if your body allows you to do that. Otherwise, get into some place where you can be pretty darn relaxed as best as possible. Relax, please, your jaw, relax your tongue, relax your brain, and relax your skull bone, your top of your head. Has anyone ever told you to relax your skull bone before? Relax your fingers and your hands, and just allow the whole thing. It's a letting go. And let's see if we can feel the earth underneath us, heavens above us, and the great intelligence of Mother Nature and how she's taking care of us. In fact, she grew us in our mother's womb. She can even turn her blood into milk so we can be nourished. Somebody had to love us. Something had to love us in order for us to even be where we are. This is something to be grateful for. And that something is always still loving. So let us relax and be spacious enough to make room for that in our life, to be loved, to experience the love of creation. And come sitting up on the heels. And you'll be right on your sit bones, hands on the lap. It's sit bones coming down as the sternum's lifting up, chin slightly in, inhaling, lifting forward, exhaling back. It's nice and gentle, but it also is deep and rhythmic. Any pace that feels good, but nice and gentle, soft, yet the breath has strength. Put some Mars into it. Make sure you're lifting, more lifting than pressing forward, lifting through your sternum. Eyes are closed, and the optic gaze draws up and in, where the root of the nose meets your skull bone. Third eye. And enjoy another minute or so into the breath, into the rhythm. Sat, Nam, Sat. Inhale deeply. And exhale. Come in sitting cross-legged. Have a little water if you have some. Your hands are here. And you're going to inhale to your left, exhale to your right. First, your pelvic floor lifted up, as Megan is doing. Chest lifted, shoulder blades released. And inhale left, exhale right. To the center, inhale. And then exhale. Hands on the knees. Keep your chest lifted. Keep the pelvic floor lifted. Chin is slightly in. And you inhale up, exhale, release. Like clearing and opening the channels. Now inhale, squeeze up. And exhale, release. You can imagine your body like a type of instrument. You have at the navel point, just under your belly button, what's called the nabi, the navel. They say the lotus of the navel, through which you have the 72 strings of the subtle nervous system. It begins right at that point, like where we're connected with our mother. And then those strings, they go up and down the spine as the primary energy channels of the body. The Chandra lunar channel, the lunar feminine channel, that begins on the left side, spirals around the spine and ends at your left nostril. And the Surya channel, which begins at the tip of the spine, on the right side, spirals around the spine and ends at your right nostril, the solar masculine channel. But from those channels, many channels or strings, 72, and in every moment in time, as the yogis describe it, there's the vibration of the psyche. And that said, in every moment in time, 1,000 vibrations. So that's why they say 72,000 channels through which your chi, your life force, your prana moves, begins at your navel and ends at the tips of the fingers and the feet and the toes. These sensitive instruments of ours, we touch, we work, we move, we walk, we mobilize in our life. This is your chi, this is your prana, the energy of your life is tuning the instrument. And so where these many channels meet at the spine at certain plexuses, and these we know as the chakras. Root chakra, Muladhara chakra, Saturn. Second chakra, Swadhisthana chakra, Jupiter. Third chakra, Manipura chakra, Mars. Fourth chakra, Venus, love. Fifth chakra, Mercury, communication, the power of speaking your truth, the power of your word. Sixth chakra, Sun and the Moon. The lunar and the solar channels, Rahu Ketu, the two nodes of the ecliptic. This is the architecture. It's so beautifully described. It's not difficult science. It's beautiful poetry. And it teaches us how to train our mind and body to be healthy and to be happy, to live a life of fulfillment, yeah? Hands on the knees again. Chest lifted, then like a pelvic floor lifted up. Now work with your breath with that awareness of the strings, of the life force current, of the channels. Create a rhythm. You breathe with rhythm. But keep the mind relaxed. Endeavor to keep the face relaxed. Not too tense and rigid. Also give it some softness now. Now inhale, squeeze up. And squeeze out a little tension. And relax. Now stretch your legs wide open. And flex the feet. Make sure you're on your sit bones. Flex the feet, energy in the toes. Inhale to the center, pivot to your left. Exhale down. Inhale to the center, pivot to your right. Exhale down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Deeper the breathing though, please. Every inhalation, fill your lungs. Respiration. Purification of the bloodstream, lightening the load, giving good good chemistry to the blood. By both purification and revitalization. When you stretch and you open and you breathe deep, you stimulate your lymphatic system. And thus you stimulate your immune intelligence. It's taking care of ourselves. It's an act of compassion. It's not a fixing of oneself. It's a nurturing. Opening the life nerve, what we say the sciatic. It's the life nerve. Put the prana in the body. Inhale up to the center. Good, and hinge forward a little bit. Breathe long and deep. Relax the groin area, but feet engaged. Heart lifted out. Just a few more breaths. Just opening, softening of the heart, softening of the groin area, and deep opening breath. Relax, shake your legs out, and come sitting cross-legged. Your hands, here's the instrument. Index finger to thumb. Okay, index finger to thumb. Palms facing forward, it's relaxed. It's not way up here, just relaxed. Chest lifted. You take a deep inhale through your nose. And fully exhale. And then we'll take a deep inhale through our nose. Fully exhale. Now you take a deep inhale through the nose. And his tongue stretches out like this. With that rhythm, it doesn't have to be aggressive. Get into a soft rhythm, but a deep rhythm. You dry yourself up too much if you're too aggressive with it, especially if you're living in the land of wildfires. Maybe you're in tropical land, you could be a little more aggressive if you feel it, but do as you feel. The most important part, rhythm. Open the chest. Now keep going, but close the mouth. Now through the nose. Equal exhale, inhale, negative, positive, solar, lunar. Neutralization of the psyche causes the intuitive psyche. Tune the instrument. Deep inhale. Suspension of the breath now. Keep the breath in. Lift through the pelvic floor. Let the upper body relax. Soften the heart. Third eye goes the gaze. Soften the gaze where the root of the nose meets the skull bone between the two eyebrows. Exhale. You know what I mean? Relax. There's no part of your horoscope that doesn't benefit from this. It hits all of it. Come on to, that means there's no part of our architecture. Come onto your backs, please. This is work time, let's go. Come onto your backs. Legs together. Now if it strains your low back, put your hands underneath your butt. Palms facing down. In fists or flat, doesn't matter. You show that, Megan. And you'll come into the stretch pose in a moment. Toes are pointed, chest is lifted. 6 to 12 inches off the ground. The core, pelvic floor lifted, okay? And that's what it'll look like. Everyone just does their best. Inhale, take a deep breath. Exhale, this is called strengthening your nervous system, building your container for your sensitivity. Inhaling deeply. Fully exhale. Come into the position. And with the breath rhythm, with the navel. With the rhythm, with the breath, move the navel. Just underneath the belly button. Shoulder blades release, pelvic floor lifted. Move the navel. Inhale deeply. Now pelvic floor lifted, pelvic floor lifted. Now the abdomen under your belly button, deep, pull it in. Deep, relax. Bravo. Fantastic. There's nothing like us building your core energy. Everything else benefits with strong foundation. Without the foundation, on the other hand, everything else is more difficult. Hug the knees to the chest. Bring your nose up towards your knees. Release your shoulder blades down the back, otherwise squeeze up. Inhale deeply. And with the rhythm. Through the nose. Equal exhale, inhalation rhythm. Reset the Agni, the digestive fire. And that fire, when it hits its rhythm, activates the subtle fire of your awareness. Tejas, light. Rhythm, rhythm. Let's go. Inhale deeply. Squeeze up deeply. Relax. It's fantastic. Good. We'll really relax in a little bit. Hug your knees to your chest. Right now, we're working. Rock forward as you inhale, up onto your sit bones. Rock back as you exhale. Okay, come on up. You're gonna have your thumbs out, your fingers in, chest lifted. Arms are gonna come to 60 degrees. Like this? Yeah, like you're creating electrical circuit. Pads of your fingertips to the pads of the palms. Tuning the instrument, no? Chest lifted, shoulder blades release, pelvic floor lifted, as best you can. You're brand new to this, those levels of refinement may not be there for you, but that'll come, don't worry. Just do what you can. Come like this, inhale deeply. Exhale, release your shoulder blades down your back, but extend out through your arms. Inhale deeply. Third eye goes the gaze. With the rhythm now, 3 minutes. Oh boy. It's no big deal. But within 3 minutes, you'll hit some threshold where it'll challenge you, whether you want to keep going. But if you can get into it, in the rhythm, allow it to work for you, open you. Strengthen your electromagnetic field. Keep the rhythm. Keep anchoring back into the meditative gaze, third eye, in rhythm. It's called a brightening. It's called elevating. It's called letting your light shine. With the rhythm, let's go. Put the Mars into it with good rhythm, but give it some Venus, soften, intuition, sensitivity, expansion. That's it, give it some Jupiter, wisdom, prosperity, magnetic energy, expansive, intuitive energy. Give it some Saturn, yeah, just like that. As soon as I said Saturn, Megan's posture went whoop. Let's go. Now just forget about all of it and brighten your light. Oh, stay with it if you can. Stay the course. Deeper into it. Hypnotic rhythm breath. Go. Inhale deeply. Bring your thumb tips touching. Open the fingers, stretch them wide. Extend through your spine. Release your shoulder blades. Inhale some more, please. Touch the ceiling with the fingertips. Lift up through the pelvic floor. Draw in the navel. Relax. Exhale. Bravo. Okay, have a little bit of water because here we go. Final part before we go into a relaxation space. Then we come out of that relaxation space and you experience the most beautiful Kriya meditation. But right now, have some water. All of these exercises, there's 3 of them, they're all short, but they're energetic. For all 3 of them, the breath will be the same. O-shaped mouth. It's kind of like that panting breath, but your tongue doesn't come out. But it is kind of from the chest like that, like O, kind of puckered O-shaped mouth. Great for the immune system, great for the respiratory. It doesn't need, again, it's not aggressive, but it has substance from its rhythm. If you focus on rhythmic substance, then what's going to end up happening is that you're going to have depth to your breath without it being aggressive and overly and drying or inflammatory. Because aggressive, too much, some is good, but too much is drying and inflaming. This is the working with Mars. Enough, not too much. That's a little different for each of us. So you have to tune into your own body's wisdom to figure that out, what that means for you. Okay? So that's the breath in all 3 exercises. The gaze is tip of your nose. You try to look right at the tip of the nose. Eyes slightly closed down. That pressures pituitary. You can close your eyes if you're unable to do that one today, but ideally Meditative gaze, tip of the nose. Okay? So check it. Now this here's your movement for the first one. Like that. So when the hands twist towards you, they close in fists. They twist away from you, they open up like this. Seems simple enough, no? But make it your meditation, you'll see. Open these little wrist meridians will open up. Tip of the nose gaze, rhythm the breath. Love will rule the day. Go the rhythm. Tip of the nose, keep it going. It takes real presence, real concentration to not get bored, to keep going if it gets uncomfortable, to keep the focus. But this is called training the inner prana, training the mind. Because as you get distracted, you bring it back. And as you get distracted or overwhelmed, you center it, you bring it back. You should become the master of the mind. You let the mind know who's in charge. Yeah? The spirit. You. The consciousness. Almost there, friends. Keep it trying a moment more. Like this. Like this. Now inhale. Fists like this. Squeeze your spine. Tighten the muscles around your spine. Concentrating the prana into the central nervous system, life force, energy. Tight, like a cannon through your mouth. Exhale. In through the mouth. Make the fists. Lift through your pelvic floor. Tighten the muscles around the spine. Tighten the fists. Close your eyes. Concentrate the life force. The chi into every cell of the body. Exhale. One more time. Pelvic floor lift. Concentration, containment. Deeply squeeze. Exhale. Beautiful. Let it flow. You ready for the next exercise? Same breath, same gaze. Just lead with the heel of the palm. Like, you see how it's not just arms here. Get the whole torso involved, like that. You see? Like you're pushing something away from you, like that, but you use the power of the navel. That's the engine for it. But the hands are the extension of your heart prana, your heart chi, your heart shakti. Yeah? With a rhythm. Like some ancient ritual to put us in good harmony with our nature and with nature herself. Yeah, with the rhythm, Inhale, left arm out. Right arm back. Lift the pelvic floor. Make your hands like lion's claws and tense your fingers. Exhale. Switch it up. Inhale. Tighten the claws. Squeeze the spine. Exhale. One last time. Inhale. Tighten the claws. Squeeze the spine a little. And exhale. Are you ready for the last one? Have some water. Your arms will be out to the side. Fingers aren't touching, but they're not tense. All heart here. So it's like a backwards circle. See, it doesn't have to work that hard if you find this the right feel for your body, you soften it, and you let a little momentum catch it. Yeah, it's called circulating the chi. It's called working your magic. Opening up the energy of your life. Feeling good. Tip of the nose gaze. You can't move that fast as this rhythm, it's okay. Do something that feels good and works for you. But if you can catch that, tip of the nose. Is opening the spine channels. Lunar, solar, the Shushmana, the central channel, the nucleus of the being, the hidden brilliance, with the rhythm. Final moments. You can move the frustration of your life. Clear it. Turn it into light energy, lightness of energy, lightness of being. Clear-minded. "20 seconds. Inhale deeply. Fingers are tight. Tongue stretches out. The tongue stretching will hit the central nerve. Fingers tight. Lift through the pelvic floor. Tighten your spine. And exhale. Inhale deeply. Lift the pelvic floor. Tighten the fingers. Stretch out your tongue. Stretch it. Through your nose, exhale. Inhale last time. Deeper inhale. Tighten the fingers, pelvic floor. Stretch your tongue and squeeze the spine so it almost shakes you. Exhale. Relax. Good job, everybody. Good. Have a touch of water and make your way onto your backs. Very important that you take a few minutes to really let all this good energy that we've generated, circulated. Now give it a container by fully going into relaxation space. Give thanks. I know they think it goes without saying, but every so often I feel like I need to say it anyways. I want to say it anyways, but these musicians that provide the soundtrack for everything we do are, one of those things that you don't have words for, but I'm so grateful. Relax, everybody. Relax the jaw, relax the mind, relax the chest, relax the nerves, the fingers, and the toes, the bottoms of your feet, and all up your legs, your pelvic area, the belly, and the digestive organs, and the heart organ, and the lungs. Everything, let it relax. Let all that good life force intelligence infuse into all your trillions of cells, nerves experiencing deep restoration, mind experiencing its meditative bliss, and thus every cell of the body experiencing meditative bliss. Let the sound current simply just wash over you. And be bathed in it. deeply. Exhale. Move your fingers and move your toes. Rotate your wrists and your ankles. Rub your palms and make some heat. Rub the soles of your feet. Make some heat. Cat stretch. And hug your knees to your chest and rock a couple of times to come up. As we prepare for this final Kriya, and what really I think is the consolidating point for everything in the practice. It's to take all of that work energy and put it to good use. Put it to good use, and then kind of tending to our fire, tending to our heart, tending to our sense of prosperity, purpose, compassion, and helping ourselves to be embodying the desirable, subtle expressions of all the elements, which is also all the planets. Saturn gives you that containment, that strength to hold your energy. Because your energy is strong. Our energy is strong. We have emotions, they're strong. We have desires, they're strong. So to have that strong container is essential. And Jupiter is your sense of knowledge and wisdom, your experience of your prosperity. You do have a prosperity. This is called getting in alignment with it. When we say alignment, it's not just alignment of the body. It's way more important. Is alignment of the dominant archetypes of the psyche. Saturn, Jupiter, Mars. Your ability to generate the will that you need for the purpose of your life. Tuning the instrument. This is why in October, when we pass through the equinox and come to early October, when we go through this immersion experience, where you spend a few days deeply tuning and deeply harmonizing with all these essential energies of our mind, of our body, of our life. Venus is love. There's so much underneath that word love, isn't there? So all of it, it's our experience of pleasure, it's our experience of romance, it's our experience of sensitivity, it's our experience of self-compassion, it's the experience of loving and compassion towards others, and and to generate genuine, innate compassion, to where this isn't some philosophy or practice or just a practice, but something that is coming alive. This is not intellectually learning about planets. This is about harmonizing with them experientially. Mercury, power of your word. Learn how to speak your life into existence. This is the higher, desirable, subtle expression of Mercury, Buddha, Mercury. And just hours before the full moon peaked, Mercury went into retrograde. Mercury's in exaltation right now, in Hasta, in the center of Virgo. So this retrograde is good. Mercury, at least in a certain context, this Mercury is staying in its point of exaltation for longer. So over these next few weeks, you have exalted Mercury, the planet of learning, the planet of knowledge, the planet of intuition when it goes retrograde. The planet of understanding, the planet of your sound current, the planet of the word. This is happening. And then you go, the sun, your sense of self-confidence, your regal sense of nature, like a lion, like Leo. Your sense of genuine pride in what you are. What are you all about? That's what the sun in the horoscope shows us. What am I all about? And lean into that. But no, that's just me. What are you all about will be totally different. And yet there's something underneath that's called the hidden brilliance. That's the same in each of us. And then all our unique expressions is emanations of that brilliance. So even the temporary things are emanations of some sort of infinite reality. This is the idea of Tantra. And then the moon is about feeling safe in our bodies, feeling so safe that we feel totally loved, is the moon, the mother. And then the moon in its most subtle expression becomes soma, the nectar of bliss, the bliss of consciousness, as the yogis described, as it drips through the organism. They call it the turning of the lotus. The crown, thousand-petaled lotus is the mythological language. And through the yogis' practice and through the arousal of devotion, the heart, that lotus turns and drips its amrit, or its soma, its nectar through the body, and you go into some type of feeling of transcendent bliss. It's not some fluffy New Age stuff. Stuff has been around forever. It stands the test of time because it's always relevant. And so this is the idea. And that's what we'll do in this little beautiful meditation. You take your instrument, your index finger, Jupiter, to the thumb, your sense of self, your sense of what you are. The other three fingers, Saturn, Sun, Mercury, middle, ring, pinky, straight up, chest lifted. The hands are about the height of your ears. You try to make the forearms perpendicular. You try to make like a 90-degree angle. Yeah. Chest lifted, shoulders released, pelvic floor lifted. And you make an O shape of your mouth. And you drink the breath through the O shape of the mouth. And then through the O shape of the mouth, you slowly exhale the breath. You close your eyes down, and you be perfectly still in that posture. O shape, like you're drinking a breath nectar that it's so rich that you just want to savor every moment as slow and as deep as possible. And then equally, you try to make your exhalation as slow and as long as possible, as complete as possible. And that pranayama, that work of your breath, will start to concentrate the life force prana in its central channel. That brings the mind into its meditative position, its meditative disposition. Hold the body like it's an antenna, so still, strong yet soft. Find the sweet spot. The shoulder blades release, yet let the fingers be firm. Lift through the pelvic floor so you can soften your upper body. And however you're doing it now is beautiful. Go deep into the breath. And as the mind jumps and then reacts, anchor back again and again to the breath. And that cooling, long breath interact with the inner fire, the Agni. And through that slow meditative rhythm, causes our fire to emanate in its subtle expression, tejas, light, a sense of radiance. stay in this way as you continue to deepen your glow. Meditative gaze. the mouth, inhale deeply. Suspend the breath in total stillness, spaciousness. Exhale. In all your intentions, and good wishes for your life and the others in your life. It's very nice on this special full moon to put them into the space, and then also let them go, not holding on to things that can't be actually held on to anyways. It's like a good wish, a good prayerfulness. Is you can just, your children, your mom or dad, your life, your friends, your loved ones, even those countless living beings. The good intention for your life, feeling it again, letting it go without any attachments to how things may wind up. Who knows how things will wind up? Very nice. Inhale deeply. Exhale. And have a little bit of water. Take your hands up like this. And then just shake it. Kind of distribute the energy around. Because now we want to ground back into the body. Not remain totally spacey. It's going, this you call like pre-meditation space, meditation space, post-meditation space. And you know how to work with those, and at some point the lines start to become very blurry between when am I meditating, when am I not meditating, but within the context of a practice, then you can kind of have some sort of clear strategy in a way of, okay, now how do I integrate this into my life in a meaningful way? Not partly is just enjoying the splendor of the experience, but then to also, okay, now, go on with the day, stay human, pay attention to what our lives are all about, continuing to how we serve. You know what I mean? I like that a lot. And so that's why we're doing, when it comes to early October the 5th, we're going to be going through this transformation retreat that's called The Hidden Brilliance. It's a Kundalini yoga journey through the 9 planets and their 12 constellations as a way of giving a complete tune-up to our instrument, our body, our mind, our electromagnetic energy, our chi, our prana, our emotional body, our intuition, our prosperity. And that's what's so beautiful about working with the archetypal astrology like that, because it gives you a nice map to hit all the domains of life and to hit all the centers of our own existence. All the natural human desires, they need channels. And so that we can find the healthy expression of what is our life trying to birth. What is wanting to be birthed through our life? How does happiness emerge through our life? These are the same things in an essential way. So that's what that journey is about. There's 2 ways to do it. You can do it with us live, where we start on a Wednesday evening. We'll be live from Menla Mountain Retreat in the Catskills of New York. That's one of my favorite places on the planet. But that's where we'll be. Everyone else, all of y'all will be around the world and we're all doing it together. And it's incredible. We start on a Wednesday evening, and then it goes first session Wednesday evening. Second session is the early part of the day on Thursday. Third session is after lunch part of the day on Thursday, and then it does that same schedule through Friday, through Saturday, and then finally the finale is Sunday morning on the full moon. It'll be the next full moon from today. It's one full moon away. And these are the coolest thing we do. I was going to say in my opinion, but this is beyond my opinion. This is the coolest thing we do. They're so incredible. Most of this music you hear has been born at these events. Live music for much of it. And it's a little bit like this we did today, but you just can go so much deeper when you spend that amount of time doing it. You block it off, invite one of your buddies to do it with you, do it by yourself, whatever feels good and motivational to you. But if you can carve that time out for yourself, this is, I don't want to, hopefully it doesn't sound cliche, but it is life-changing. It just is. To go through, but it's not like you're becoming something different. You're uncovering what you are. That's how it's life-changing. And that's a never-ending process. Thank goodness. You always can blossom more. Thank goodness for that. No final destination, but always tuning the instrument for this season of our life. This is a big season of our life. There's no season that's not a big season of our life. This is a big season of our life. And this is a way of giving priority to that, giving priority to the things that are truly important. Willpower, sense of purpose, our prosperity. We all have some type of prosperity. How do you strengthen it? Love. All of us are on this quest of being able to feel love and to be able to give love in a way that is pure. This is tuning the instrument. And so the other way you can do this, because not everybody can do the transformation retreat where it's immersed. If you can't do it live with us that week of the October 5th through October 9th, you could do it, you can join it and then do it another weekend in October if you want, like when you can get together with your friends at somebody's house and put up a good screen and hopefully good sound system, because the music, if you notice, like we have our whole Zoom room open right now, but that's just for us to hang out and have a collective connected space. Zoom doesn't offer the type of video and audio production that how we like to do it. So that's why we opened the Zoom thing, is just to be able to see each other, those who want to jump on. I'll come after we close here in a moment. I'll go over to the Zoom if you want to hang out for a little bit. We can chat. This is all of our energy goes into these. It's our most important creative production as well. This is art for us. It's not like it. That's what it is. It's art. It's the Dharma arts. And so the other way you can do it, though, if you don't want to do it in that kind of immersive, maybe that just doesn't work for your lifestyle right now, then you take the home course path. So then you do one session a week for the next several weeks starting in October. And you can do it that way, or any other way you want, because if you register for this, you have lifetime access. It's not something you just have once. It's a course that you can revisit again and again, and it'll be worth revisiting again and again, because this stuff is always applicable to whatever season of the life that we're in. You don't have to do the whole thing to revisit it. It's like, oh, I love that Venus session. Every session is a different planet. But it's not learning intellectually, a little bit of learning intellectually, but mostly it's harmonizing with that planet, bringing it alive into the experience, into the space, understanding our unique Mars. So also for everyone who registers and joins for it in the coming weeks before the immersion begins, I'm going to do a special class that's basically an introduction to yogic astrology. This won't be yoga practices. I'm going to show you how, if you already know Vedic astrology, it'll be basic for you. But if you're not familiar with these ideas, how to read the Vedic chart, then you can also see, how do you find your own ascendant? How do you find where's your Saturn? How might that feel? Where's your Mars in that? So that'll be a optional preparation class for this, for everyone who registers and joins in. So that's where all our energy is focused, and all our energy is working to encourage you to be a part of this. If you're feeling resonant, if they feel like this is something that might be awesome for you to do and you want to do it, we want you to do it. We want you to be a part of it. And all the info's here on the webpage that you can look through all the sessions and all of that. But I think you get the gist at this point of what it is. It's $650 to be a part of it. And that includes, obviously, the live stream access and lifetime on-demand access as well. And however, right now is the early bird pricing. And if you get it now, it's only $299 to be a part of it. It's a really good deal. And that price will be going up soon. And all those details are on the page, but right now it's $299 is the early bird price. There's also a payment plan. If that makes it easier for you, you can do it 2 payments of $154, and that's all on the web page as well. So right now what we're trying to do is encourage you to get in, to not procrastinate. If you're feeling resonant and you're feeling inspired to do this and clear that you want to do it, it's going to be worth it. It's a really, really cool experience, and it's definitely one of those things that words fall short of explaining. Anyone who's come to an immersion, they know exactly what I'm talking about, the ones that we do, or done it virtually. This thing delivers virtually. There'll be people there in person too. That was sold out a long time ago. But the virtual experience, we put as much of our energy into that as the in-person experience. It delivers. Even if you can get that nice setup in your home, like you have a nice room to do it in each day, maybe you have a friend do it with you. Even if you have a friend somewhere else in the world, but you're both doing it, it's a shared experience. It's very intimate to share this experience with somebody, because you go through, great transformation. And it meets the domain of your life that's important in this season of your life. Whether it's a relationship season, it's a business season, it's a children's season, it's all the seasons, a spiritual focus season. All of it meets it just there, because it's dealing with your essential energy, not just any one subject matter. Tuning the instrument, experiencing the hidden brilliance. This is the idea. So I want to personally invite you to attend. I hope you can. And if you can't, thanks for being here today. And on the 22nd of September is the equinox. We're going to do this again for a special equinox event. And so we'll let you know about that when it comes up. If those of you who want to get started and work, and especially if you want to do this immersion, but you're brand new to this, then consider bundling this retreat with our Kundalini's Essential course, which today I didn't unpack the fundamentals for you, but that course I think is fantastic. And I have something cool and nice that you can work through up until we get to October. It's not necessary though. If you can't afford all of that, don't worry. Just do the transformation retreat with us if you want to. All right. It's super easy. You click through, takes you to our webpage, takes just a couple minutes to register. We have an amazing team. If you have any questions, you're not sure how something works, get in touch with us. We're happy to help. We want you to come if you want to come, or if you're not sure if you want to come, we want to help you get clarity on that. So let us know if we can help. Okay, let us seal our time together for this full moon. Bring your hands into prayer pose. Satnam. Happy full moon. My friends, thanks so much for being here today. Thank you, LFA team. Thank you, Aki. Thank you, Megan. Thank you again. We were kind of getting the relaxation, but I wanted to thank Simret, Shannon, Devin, Jared, Salif, the phenomenal musicians and artists that provide the soundtrack for all of this, and endlessly grateful for those folks. Okay, lots of love, y'all. So I'm going to go, give me a couple of minutes, those of you who are here live. If you're taking the replay, time and space doesn't work that way. So, but otherwise, I'll be on the Zoom for those of you who are here live. And give me 2 or 3 minutes, and we'll hang out for a few minutes and chat. Okay, thanks, everybody.
I'm so grateful to be at home and to have a magic space. And it's really helped me carve out my boundaries.
You know, meditating and doing yoga by yourself can sometimes be it's difficult to stay motivated.
I just wanted to say that the energy that has been radiating from the virtual Zoom has been electrifying.
The effects that I was having just at home by myself practicing were tremendous. I mean, the bliss and the real love of just living life and being around other people was palpable.
We all need the consciousness to change. We all need introspection, and what you're offering is guiding so many people to do it. So
his love, his kindness, his wisdom, his insight, like all of it is just such an incredible blend.
Simra and Jai really cultivate, and all of the team cultivate such a beautiful experience.
But it turned out kind of fun. I could do the virtual from anywhere I wanted.